On the 8th of July, 1987, the quiet hamlet of Carlsbad, New Mexico, was shaken to its foundations when the lifeless corpse of Donna Sue Hyatt, who was 38 years old at the time, was found in her home on Elm Street. The town as a whole was in disbelief and shock after learning that Donna had been the victim of a violent attack in which she had been stabbed and strangled. After the horrible deed committed against this defenseless woman, the community has been looking for answers and for justice. Hi, and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing, as it helps us motivate to create more intriguing content for you. Let's have a look at the 36-year-old cold case finally solved in 2023. Donna Sue Hyatt, who was born on August 28, 1948, served as a guiding light for the rest of her family throughout their lives. Her parents, Roger Marvin Black and Sybil Lunsford Black, greeted her with wide arms when she arrived, and she developed a strong connection with her sisters, Marlene Johnson and Sandra Daniel, as she grew up. Her parents still adore her to this day. The beginning of Donna's schooling took place at the public schools located in Carlsbad. It was there that she demonstrated academic prowess and cultivated a love for study. She continued her studies at New Mexico State University, where she achieved great success in both her studies and her personal life. In addition to her academic pursuits, Donna was an involved member of the First Baptist Church as well as the Christian Women's Club, where she volunteered her time in order to better her community and demonstrate how her religion guided her life. The thoughtfulness and charity with which she treated those around her won her a place of affection in both of the groups to which she belonged. The life that Donna led was the object of many people's jealousy, since she had a doting husband and a daughter named Angela, who was the center of her universe. The day of the 8th of July in 1987 was a hot and muggy summer day in Carlsbad, New Mexico. The activities that comprised Donna Sue Hyatt's daily routine were generally the same as those of any other day. She diligently adhered to her household tasks and responsibilities. Nevertheless, as soon as the sun fell below the horizon, an uneasy feeling of foreboding crept upon the town. Donna had no idea that a terrible ending was hiding in the shadows and waiting for her to stumble upon it. Angela returned home at 11:40 p.m. with the expectation of finding her mother unharmed and unperturbed. Instead, she came face to face with a terrifying and harrowing experience that will long be with her. After a particularly severe and savage assault, Donna lay motionless on the ground, her body exhibiting the scars of the ordeal. Angela was greeted with the image of her mother's lifeless body, which was covered in a variety of wounds, including bruises, stab wounds, and other wounds. Angela was struggling to come to terms with the horrible reality that had played out in front of her eyes, and the shock and disbelief that she was experiencing were nearly too much for her to endure. Angela's first instinct upon making this terrifying discovery was to look for assistance from a trusted source. She dialed the number for the emergency services without any hesitation, pleading frantically for someone to help her. She told the dispatcher, with her voice trembling with dread and anxiety, about the horrible and heart-wrenching scene that had devastated her entire existence. After receiving the 911 call for assistance, the police arrived at Donna's house in a timely manner. The investigation into the terrible circumstances surrounding Donna's death had already gotten underway. The devastating news of Donna's death sent shockwaves throughout the close-knit town of Carlsbad, California. The search for justice got underway, and the community came together with the shared goal of apprehending whoever was guilty of this heinous act of violence. The Carlsbad Police Department's detectives did not waste any time in their investigation. They scoured over the crime scene with extreme caution and attention to the smallest of details, collecting essential pieces of evidence, including DNA from a different species. They had high hopes that this piece of evidence would lead them to the breakthrough they required in order to crack the case and put Donna's attacker to justice. As the investigators began their investigation, they uncovered a piece of information that would prove to be quite useful. The last time anyone saw Donna, she was with a white male who was tall. On the day that Donna's life was brutally cut short, witnesses reported seeing a man walking away from a nearby store at roughly 9:15 p.m. This was the same day that Donna was killed. This important piece of information served as a jumping-off point for the investigation, providing the investigators with a crucial path to pursue. The investigators were up against tremendous obstacles, despite the fact that they worked hard. Their lack of access to advanced technology, which is easily accessible in today's investigations of criminal activity, slowed down their progress. Because there were no solid leads, the investigation into Donna's disappearance gradually petered out, leaving her family and the entire city of Carlsbad in a state of exasperation and hopelessness. It seemed as though obtaining justice for Donna Sue Hyatt was an impossible and unreachable goal. Detective Joey Landgraf and Detective Tim Nice of the Carlsbad Police Department resurrected the cold case in 2023. The investigation had been dormant for the previous 36 years. They were able to give the investigation a fresh lease on life with the assistance of recent developments in forensic science as well as new methods of investigation. Othram is a private laboratory in Texas that specializes in advanced DNA sequencing. They produced a full DNA profile of the suspect by sequencing the suspect's genome using forensic-grade equipment. Through the use of this profile, the forensic genetic genealogy team at the FBI was able to identify Michael Ruff Wigley as the primary suspect in the murder of Donna Sue Hyatt. As the investigators dug deeper into Wigley's past, they unearthed a terrible fact. In the early 1980s, in the region of Central Texas, Wigley was under investigation for 2 different instances of sexual assault. One of these offenses resulted in a conviction and a prison sentence. This fresh information threw new light on the situation and brought to light the seriousness of the predicament. When it was found out that Wigley had been killed in a car accident in 1989, shortly after his release from prison, the investigation took an unexpected turn. Unfazed, the police persisted in acquiring a search warrant for Wigley's exhumation and DNA collection, which finally led to the confirmation that he was the person responsible for the murder of Donna Sue Hyatt in July 1987. The detectives' commitment did not end with the discovery of DNA evidence. They conducted interviews with witnesses as well as family members, which provided further evidence that Wigley was in Carlsbad at the time of the attack and murder, so establishing beyond a reasonable doubt that he was responsible for those crimes. The partnership between the Carlsbad Police Department and the Othram Lab represented a significant step forward in both the field of forensic science and the examination of crime scenes. Through the utilization of DNA testing, the investigators were able to positively match Wigley to the evidence that was gathered from the crime scene almost 40 years earlier. This success not only allowed Donna's family to go on with their lives, but it also helped the community regain faith in its law enforcement agencies. Carlsbad, California Mayor Dale Janway acknowledged the painstaking efforts of the cops and detectives who had worked on the matter in 1987 and those who had maintained the inquiry in 2023. The DNA evidence needed to be tested and analyzed, and the city was willing to provide financial assistance to make that possible. According to the statements made by Mayor Janway, "It is our sincere hope that the recent efforts and the efforts of those involved in 1987 can bring some small form of peace and closure to the family of Donna Sue Hyatt and to the community of Carlsbad." The fact that the Carlsbad Police Department's officers were able to solve the unsolved case of Donna Sue Hyatt, which had been open for 36 years, in 2023, is a credit to their steadfast commitment and dogged determination. The case demonstrates how important collaboration, creativity, and a dogged commitment to the search for justice are in the effort to reduce and prevent crime. Although it may have been slow in coming, justice was not circumvented. The memory of Donna will live on, and she has finally allowed her family and the community to find some kind of peace. What do you think of this case? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for such more cases. Thanks for watching.